King Charles III made a decision so striking, so deeply personal, that even those closest to the crown were left speechless. He reached into the very heart of his marriage, took a crown long associated with Queen Camilla.
She was promised the crown and wore it proudly. However, the woman who waited decades to take her place beside the King of England may now be watching everything slip through her fingers.
In recognition of her own loyal public service since our marriage 17 years ago, she becomes my queen consort.
Within a royal palace that seldom openly announces its conflicts, a significant power shift is currently underway, and it is seismic. King Charles, the man Camilla has stood by through scandal, humiliation, and the shadow of Princess Diana, is reportedly reshaping the future of the monarchy around one woman, and it is not his wife.
And no one moves a limb, a muscle, when Camilla passes. And that was because they were angry with Camilla. Camilla brought 20 Parker Bowleses to the coronation. There were 4 Middletons.
Stay with me, because this story is far from over. The crown Camilla rarely got. To understand the significance of this moment, we must revisit its origins. When King Charles married Camilla Parker Bowles on April 9, 2005, at the Windsor Guildhall, the public response was cold, if not hostile. The memory of Princess Diana was still fresh, and polls reflected widespread disapproval. The establishment was anxious, prompting a public promise. Clarence House announced that, upon Charles's accession to the throne, Camilla would be known as Princess Consort rather than Queen. This was a concession made in light of the public's disapproval at the time. However, there was a major flaw in this promise. There is no legal or historical precedent for the title Princess Consort, and under common law, Camilla was always destined to be queen. That promise? It was more of a political maneuver masquerading as humility. Fast forward to May 6, 2023, Coronation Day. The earlier promise was quietly forgotten. Camilla entered Westminster Abbey as Queen Consort, participating in the coronation ceremony conducted by the Church of England, where she was anointed with holy oil, crowned, and enthroned. Yet, cameras captured more than just the ceremony, and royal commentators were quick to analyze the details. A British historian remarked that Prince William and Catherine were crammed into the corner, suggesting that the event was deliberately orchestrated to convey the message that King Charles and Camilla were the main focus, with everyone else relegated to secondary roles. Adding to this signal was the choice of attire. At King Charles's request, no one but Charles and Camilla was permitted to wear crowns or tiaras during the coronation. Instead, the Princess of Wales and her daughter, Princess Charlotte, wore embroidered floral headpieces. This decision made it clear that King Charles intended to highlight Camilla's moment, deliberately preventing his daughter-in-law, the more popular Princess of Wales, from overshadowing his wife on this significant day. However, an unexpected consequence emerged from this sidelining of Catherine. By intentionally dimming her light in front of a billion viewers, especially when she is Britain's most beloved royal, they did not extinguish her glow. They merely postponed it. The world was watching, and sides were already being taken. The king who chose his daughter-in-law over his own wife. Royal watchers have noticed something special about the relationship between King Charles and Catherine, Princess of Wales. Their bond is warm and personal, and it's also very strategic. In 2024, Charles made a significant move that surprised everyone and sent a strong message to Camilla. King Charles awarded Catherine a rare honor, which royal commentator Justin Valvik described as public support that Princess Diana did not receive from the late queen. This was important both personally and professionally. What was this honor? King Charles III had appointed Catherine as Colonel of the Irish Guards, a prestigious military title with great symbolic value. This was more than just a title. It was a strong statement of support from the king to his daughter-in-law. On a personal level, Catherine and Charles get along well. However, the larger message was clear. Charles is publicly backing Catherine. On the same day, he also appointed Camilla to a different role, Grand Master of the Order of the British Empire. While both appointments were significant, the impressions were quite different. Catherine received a military honor linked to royal tradition, while Camilla got a ceremonial title. Many people on social media quickly noticed this difference. Royal social media exploded with reactions. TikTok and Twitter featured comparisons, and YouTube channels saw millions of views in just 48 hours. Commentators agreed that Charles was carefully building Catherine's profile in a way that couldn't be reversed. This is not just a king making routine appointments. This is a father shaping a legacy. Charles knows his health is uncertain and that William and Catherine represent the future. He is deliberately working to ensure this future is strong, even if it means Camilla feels more pressure in her position. Adding to the complexity, Camilla outlasted Diana, surviving public backlash and media attacks. Now, after all of that, it seems that Camilla may achieve something that Diana never could. The Arise Queen Kate bombshell. In January 2026, a magazine article caused a stir in British royal politics. The Times magazine featured Catherine, Princess of Wales, with the title Arise Queen Kate. The subheading online stated, "Kate will be a queen who listens." The article used information from palace insiders and close friends to show how the princess plans to modernize the monarchy. This sparked rumors of tensions inside Buckingham Palace. Royal columnist Amanda Platel raised questions about whether Prince William and Princess Kate approved the interviews. She also suggested that praising Kate's future as queen might be seen as a slight against the current queen, Camilla. The timing of the article was intentional. Catherine had just resumed her public duties after cancer treatment, and her popularity was at an all-time high. In April 2024, polling showed she was the most popular royal, and she attracted the most Google searches in the UK that year. Presenting her potential reign in a major newspaper while Charles is still king and Camilla is still queen was either very bold or deliberately provocative. It might have been both. Polls showed a clear gap in popularity. Prince William and Princess Kate had approval ratings of 77% and 74%, while King Charles was in 4th place and Queen Camilla in 7th. Insiders reported that Camilla felt sidelined and panicked by Kate's rising popularity, especially during recent holiday events. Think about this. Camilla Parker Bowles, who went through a lot to become queen, is now worried about a woman who has never spoken ill of her. This shows the impact of Catherine's presence. The palace remains silent, as usual. However, silence in royal circles speaks volumes. The silence following the Times article was loud enough to shake the chandeliers at Buckingham Palace. What happens when William becomes king? Camilla is currently the queen consort, but her title has an expiration date. When Prince William becomes king, Catherine, Princess of Wales, will automatically take on the title of Queen Catherine, or formally, Queen Consort. She will be crowned alongside William and will support him as he reigns, just like Camilla does now. Catherine won't need to compete for Camilla's title. History will grant it to her. The interesting question is, what will happen to Camilla's title when that time comes? When William becomes king, the most fitting title for Camilla would be Queen Dowager. This title respects her time as Queen Consort while setting her apart from Queen Catherine. There's a historical example to consider. After the death of King George VI in 1952, his wife, Queen Elizabeth, became known as Queen Elizabeth the Queen Mother, to avoid confusion with her daughter, Queen Elizabeth II. But Camilla is not the mother of the future king, so that title wouldn't apply to her. Therefore, Camilla would be referred to as Queen Dowager, meaning former queen. She fought hard and finally gained the crown she wanted for years, but it seems she will be quietly redefined once Charles is gone. Camilla also reportedly hoped for a smoother transition and a formal acknowledgement of her role in William and Catherine's future reign. However, sources say the palace firmly denied her requests about her public presence and living arrangements after Charles's reign. The palace's priorities are clear. The future is more important than the present. In the struggle between the current queen and the future queen, the institution will always protect the crown and not the individual. For Camilla, this reality may be the hardest truth of all. She devoted her life to getting a crown that she may not truly keep. The ghost of Diana and the weight of the crown. You need to understand what is happening at Buckingham Palace right now by considering the lasting impact of Diana, Princess of Wales. She was the woman who helped the world fall in love with the British monarchy. Her tragic death almost shattered it. For nearly 30 years, Charles has dealt with the burden of Diana's legacy. The public has never completely forgiven him. Comparisons between Diana and Camilla have followed every important royal event, from coronations and anniversaries to Christmas speeches. Now history is repeating itself. Charles has to choose how Catherine, the new royal woman, will be presented to the public. Royal expert Vovik pointed out that Charles's public support for Catherine is something Diana didn't receive. This is public support that the late Queen didn't really give to the Princess of Wales. In other words, Charles is supporting Catherine in a way he and his mother never supported Diana. He is helping her build a solid reputation. He is giving her protection before she needs it. Some analysts think this is Charles's way of making amends, making sure the next Princess of Wales is ready protected, and publicly supported by the king. The Daily Telegraph called Catherine Befon the monarchy's greatest asset, and another writer referred to her as the jewel in the crown. This type of language is significant. It signals who the institution trusts for its future. The public also supports her. From 2023 to 2026, The Independent listed Catherine among the most influential people. Time magazine named her a runner-up for Person of the Year in 2024. She transformed from a shy newcomer to one of the most influential women in the world while dealing with cancer, regaining her health, and raising 3 children out of the spotlight. The monarchy is about symbols. The symbol they are currently creating, with Charles's support and possibly at Camilla's cost, is clear. The future of the British royal family doesn't resemble a woman who struggled for the crown. It looks like a woman who has not had to fight at all. It looks like Catherine, the popularity war Camilla cannot win. In the palace, power is not measured by armies or orders, but by public approval. By that measure, the competition between Camilla and Catherine is not close. Recent polls show that the Prince and Princess of Wales are the most popular members of the royal family, with approval ratings of 77% and 74% respectively. King Charles is in 4th place, and Queen Camilla is in 7th. The Royal Observer notes that the sitting Queen of England ranks 7th in popularity within her own family. In any political group, such a gap would call for an immediate crisis review. In the palace, it shows up in subtler ways, like who gets the best spot on the balcony, who is featured in official photos, and whose appointments make the news. In May 2025, Catherine was named to the Time 100 health list for her work raising awareness about cancer. This helped her reputation grow. She became known not just as a style icon or a ceremonial figure, but as a woman of real influence. Her honesty about her own battle with cancer changed public perception. She shifted from being seen as a carefully managed royal to a real, relatable human being, and the public responded positively. Camilla has done commendable work, especially in advocating against domestic abuse and sexual violence. However, her public image remains complicated because of how her relationship with King Charles began. Her affair with Charles while he was married to Princess Diana caused a lot of controversy. Even after years of trying to improve her image, she was accepted, but always with some hesitation. The uncomfortable truth is that Camilla could do everything right from now on and might still never match Catherine's popularity. In a royal family, some roles, biological, emotional, and historical, cannot be changed by effort alone. Catherine is the mother of the future king and the woman the public chose long before any official coronation to carry the crown forward. Now, even with the title of Queen Consort, Camilla is not at the center of the royal narrative. YouTube channels about the royal family have changed dramatically. Catherine now dominates the thumbnails, headlines, and views. The algorithm, which reflects public interest honestly, has made its choice. The people have made theirs. The crown may rest on Camilla's head today, but in the eyes of the public, it already belongs to someone else. What this means for the future of the monarchy. There will be an official coronation for Queen Catherine someday. It will be elaborate, historic, and streamed to billions of viewers. However, many royal historians believe the real coronation is already happening quietly. It occurs in every appointment, every public gesture, every Times magazine cover, and every YouGov poll. When William becomes king, Catherine will take on the same role that Camilla currently holds, Queen Consort. But public perceptions of this role will be very different. While Camilla's queenship carried a lot of baggage, Catherine's will come with legitimate support that the monarchy has built over the years. The final titles and roles for figures like Camilla will depend on historical precedent, practicality, and public perceptions of the monarchy in the 21st century. The monarchy is a living institution that adapts to changes and understands public sentiment. Right now, the public is showing what it wants and who it can trust. Charles, despite the controversies in his personal life, may be seen as the king who ensured a smooth transition. By promoting Catherine and publicly supporting her legacy while he is still king, he is doing something his mother did not do enough of, preparing for the next reign. He is not leaving it to chance or Camilla's influence. Instead, he is making it clear that Catherine will lead. As of January 2025, Catherine is in remission from cancer. She has returned to public duties, focusing on early childhood development, mental health, and environmental issues. She came back from a serious personal crisis and resumed her public life with incredible composure. Catherine did not use her illness to seek sympathy, Instead, she used her recovery to find a sense of purpose. In doing so, she became more powerful than any crown could make her. She became irreplaceable. Camilla's request for a guaranteed invisible role after Charles was turned down, not out of cruelty, but for the sake of clarity in the institution. The monarchy looks to the future, not the past. The next chapter has a clear face, and everyone, from King Charles to the British public to the global press, knows it belongs to Catherine. The crown may pass to a new monarch, but the story of who will shape the future of the British monarchy is already told. That story belongs to Catherine. If you made it this far, you likely find the inner workings of the British royal family as interesting as I do. Share your thoughts in the comments. Does Camilla deserve more credit, or is Catherine simply the right woman for what's ahead? Like this video if it gave you something to think about, subscribe for more deep dives like this, and I'll see you in the next one.